Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome back to another in-depth review for Marvel Strike Force. Now this review is one that I've had a lot of requests for, and it was actually quite tricky because this is a character that's been reworked and the changes to the character look quite small on the surface, but from a gameplay perspective they actually mix up quite a lot, so it's a lot to get my head round. Now the character of course is Hulk, so this will be his 2.0 review. Now to let you know if he's worthwhile investing in since his changes, we get various different sections we cover. We start off with the general overview. It's more for beginners, that includes his tags and how you unlock them. We've then got his stats. Next up it's the abilities, and I'll let you know how high you want to level them. We then have the synergies, which is characters he works well with and characters you want to avoid, and then finally we see where he places in the tier list. So we're starting off anyway with the general overview. Hulk then is a protector class character, but like some other characters I've reviewed recently, he could almost be more of a hybrid. He could be more of a blaster stroke protector character. Now when we look at his tags, it's Hero, Global, Bio, Protector, Avenger, and then Wave 1 Avenger, which is a new tag he received, and this is relevant when we actually look at his skills. So tag wise he doesn't do great at all. The only ones that are relevant are the Avengers, and we know they're not very strong in the game at the moment, but there are some synergies there. In regards to how you unlock him, it's via achievements, so he's a very unique character in that respect. If you're looking for the most optimal way to actually work your way through these achievements, if you're a new player and you want to unlock them ASAP, then I've got a video that I'll link in the description below. But that's the general overview. Let's now have a look at his stats. When we look at the offensive stats for Hulk, you can see where the idea that he's almost a combination of a protector and a brawler class comes in. His damage is sitting way up at an A rating, so he hits exceptionally hard. His problem has always been how slow he was. His speed, I believe it was 77 prior to the update. They've upped it slightly, so it's now up at 87, so it's still on the slower side. It comes in at an E rating, but a protector being slower isn't necessarily a bad thing because it means the taunt is then up for longer on them. His focus is way down at an F, so it's exceptionally low, but he's not applying any debuffs and he's not cleansing at all, so it's irrelevant that this is low. Other aspects of his kit that help him out from an offensive perspective are the fact that he can apply offense up to himself, and he's also got a unique ability in that he can multiply damage. Now this is really nice because offense up is a buff that can be stripped. The multiply damage, once it's multiplied, that's it, it actually stays there, so it's a really nice modifier, and paired up with the offense up it can be exceptionally strong. Now that's the offensive stats. Let's have a look at the defensive ones. Defensive wise he's done pretty well here, and his biggest problem was always his resistance, and when you placed a debuff on him like a slow or a stun, that was him, he was out the actual match. But with his rework they have addressed that. Now if we look at the stats anyway, his health's up at an A rating, it's exceptionally high, I think it's third highest in the game. His armour's a B rating, his resistance comes in at an E, so that is a problem because it's very easy to apply debuffs, but when we look at his kit we can see that we've got ways we can counter that to an extent now. Other areas of his kit that help him out from a defensive perspective are that he can apply death proof to himself, he has cleanse, and he also has additional armour under certain conditions as well, and that would actually pull his armour rating all the way up to an A. So it would be A for armour and A for health, which is a really nice combination. Now with the stats covered, let's have a look at his abilities. Skill wise here we start off looking at the passive. This is called Always Angry. It's seen some quite substantial changes that make Hulk a real pain to come up against. Now with this, on dropping below 50% health you fill 100% of your speed bar, and that will overfill, so if you're just about to get a turn it will fill it all the way up, so you'll just be about to get 2 turns in effect, which is really nice. Now also with this you'll gain offense up and you clear stun from himself, so no longer can Black Widow just shut him down. On dropping below 25% health you gain death proof and clear all negative effects from self, which is incredibly useful. and then while this character is below 50% health, you gain 33% armour, so it is much better, this passive, and as mentioned, it can make him a real pain in the butt to actually take out. Now, in regards to how high you want to take it, the only difference from 4 to 5 is that you'll fill the speed bar for 75% rather than the full 100, so for that reason, just keep this one at level 4. The next skill we look at is the basic. This is called Smash. Now previously with this, when you were below 50% health, you would gain a fence up, which was of course nice, but it would then drop off on the next turn. Now the way it's set up now is you attack the primary target for 300% damage. That's the same as it was before. However, the difference is if this character has below 50% health, and when that happens, it will kick in his passive where he gains a fence up, he shakes off stun as well, then you'll multiply the damage on the attack by 1.5, so you'll have the offense up and the damage multiplier as well, and it means that you can hit like an absolute truck with this particular skill. Once or twice I've actually been caught out with raids and he's near enough one-shotted characters with it. Now in regards to how high you want to take it, it's a really nice skill that can hit hard. However, due to the slow attack speed on Hulk and there only being a difference of 50% damage from level 6 to 7, I would say just take this one to level 6. With the passive, we have another skill which has seen some changes here. So this is called Rage. It's on a low 3-turn cooldown. You will be using this generally turn number 1, although if you pair him up with Cap and Cap is still taunting, then save it for later on in the match. Now with this enemy, you gain taunt if an ally is a wave 1 Avenger, so that includes Black Widow, Captain America, Hawkeye, Iron Man and Thor. Then you'll gain counter. That can be useful because it can break melee chains. You also clear all negative effects from self. If this character's health is below 50%, then you heal self for 7,000 health and 15%, and given his huge health pool, that really can be quite a substantial amount that you actually heal. Previously with this as well, you were only healing 10% health, so it's had a 5% buff there. Now the difference from level 6 to 7 on this one is that you'll clear 3 negative effects rather than all of them. This is one that I'm probably going to keep at level 6 myself, but if you're going all in Hulk and you're trying to build a team round him, then it would be worthwhile upgrading it just to shake off all those negative effects. For the final skill, we have the ultimate here. Now this actually hasn't seen any changes, but despite that, due to the changes on the passive, this one can be really dangerous. Now it's called Leap. Generally you'll be using this on turn number 2 because it's 4 turns to charge with a 6-turn cooldown. With this, you attack primary target for 330% damage and adjacent enemies for 260% damage. If this character is below 50% health, then you're multiplying the damage by 1.5. So that's the same as the basic in that you'll get the passive kicking in, shaking off stun, filling your speed bar, giving you the offense up, and then you can hit with this attack and multiply the damage as well. It can work exceptionally nice because you'll start off a match taunting, the enemy's forced to actually attack you unless they can cleanse you. They get you below 100%, which fills up your speed bar, amps them up, and then you can fire off this, and it can be a complete pain to actually work your way around it. But that's something we'll talk about when we do get to the synergies section in a moment, how you do that. Now, in regards to how high you want to take this skill up to, just take this one up to level 6 because the only difference in damage from 6 to 7 is actually a small amount on the adjacent enemies. It doesn't change the primary target damage at all. That still stays at 330% at level 6, so you don't want to max this one out. Now, with all the abilities covered, let's have a look at the synergies. So when it comes to characters that Hulk can work well with, he could actually drop into a lot of different teams and take on the role as a protector, putting out a nice amount of damage as well. But characters that he specifically works well with, and this is really due to the new Avengers Wave 1 synergies, would be Captain America and Black Widow. So you'll get the counter attack through both of them. With Captain America, he'll get the benefit of that additional block chance, and you can use Hulk to off tank in a way. And then with Black Widow, you of course get the benefit of the counter attack when he taunts up, but you also get the speed up, and that certainly helps he's exceptionally low speed there, but it doesn't make him too quick, and his taunt won't be up for a reasonable amount of time. Now that's the characters he can work well with. Let's have a look at the characters you want to avoid, and these are characters you can use to shut him down as well. So when we look at characters you want to avoid and characters that can actually be used to shut them down as well, they are ones that add very specific debuffs that include the likes of blind, offense down, and also ability block as well. Now the one thing you have to be very careful to do is make sure you don't cast him before he taunts, because when he taunts he'll just actually clear all of them. So let him have his first turn and actually taunt before you start applying these. Now one character you could actually use in turn number 1 against him would be Miles Morales. You can use the special or the ultimate, so you can apply Disrupted so that his taunt's wasted, and else you can actually slow him down and reduce his speed bar low. Eventually he will still be taunting. Characters that you can use on turn number 2 so that it has avalanche leap misses are ones that add blind, so that's the likes of Magneto, Mordo, and also Star-Lord. You then have characters that can add ability block, so that's Ant-Man, Ronin, Venom, and also Vision. And then finally, what you can't do, if you can't get him to actually miss, or you can't stop him from firing off his attack, you can pull down the damage on it, and that can come via that offense down that's available on the basics for both Doctor Strange and War Machine as well there. So that's some options you can use to shut them down. If you found any other combos that work nice, let me know in the comments below. I know there is combinations where you can just try and burn them down exceptionally quickly, but it can be pretty tricky if you can't do that in almost one go. But let me know in the comments below what combinations you have been using, and for the final section we'll see where he places in the tier list. So with Hulk then, prior to his rework, what you would actually do when you come up against him and you would seek out matches with him is you would begin with the likes of Black Widow and Quake, and you would slow him and stun him, and that was him. He was out in the match. Now with the changes they've made to them, that tactic is no longer viable. In a way, if you actually have the audacity to attack Hulk, it will piss him off and he will annihilate you. And I really like that they've added that flavour into it. They've really captured the essence of Hulk now, although I do think his Earthquake can maybe do a bit more damage to every character on screen, and he could drop down a meteor or two or do a thunderclap, but other than that he is much better than he was. Now if we look at him previously, he was a mid-level 2 character, so that was exceptionally poor. According to the rating system I use, he was the second worst character in the game, just ahead of Scientist Supreme and actually behind Bullseye. Now with the changes they've made, he can be really tricky, and you have to be exceptionally careful what you're doing around him, and else he'll punish you for any mistakes you make. So much more fun character to actually play with, and he's a fun character to go up against as you try and figure out ways to counter him. So with all that in mind, I'm happy to say that Hulk would move up to a mid-alpha character. So he's not crazy like some of the character reworks we've seen in the game, but he's definitely been vastly improved. And with the Avengers Wave 1 tag that we have, hopefully we'll see some more changes to that, so he'll move up even further, because at the moment I wouldn't say there's any synergies that would move him up higher than that. You can pair him up with Cap and Black Widow, yes, but the synergy of getting the extra counter isn't that strong to actually pull him up. So let me know in the comments below if you're playing around with Hulk yourself, how you're getting on with him. Let me know if you've come up against any monster Hulks that have took you out and it's been quite a surprise for you. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.